Good morning, good afternoon, good day, good night, wherever you are in your process in this moment in time. I hope this message finds you well. Caveat, this message can be for anyone, but it does contain some emotional content. So if you find yourself that you're in emotional deficit or you're just not in a good emotional space, perhaps right now this message is not for you, and perhaps it's just not for your message at all. But this message can be for anyone. If you find that you are a procrastinator, if you're neurospicy, if you suffer from or are living through symptoms of PTSD or CPTSD, and or you just experience executive functional freeze and you're working to get into momentum, and when you get into good momentum, you feel stifled for some reason, slowed down, disconnected, 2 steps forward, 4 steps back. Perhaps it is spiritual warfare, and some would say that. And there are things that we can do to loosen ourselves from nefarious actions like that in another video. But in this case, what if it is the divine getting us in alignment with what we are being called to accomplish within the limits of the parameters of what we can do in this moment, within the deficit of our current reality? So perhaps you start a workout regimen and your momentum gets stagnated due to a muscle pull, soreness, or God forbid injury. You have a project, some sort of workflow, research, chores, whatever, some sort of routine. Try this on. Try on that the divine is streamlining your focus to what is the most important in that moment. Perhaps all that needs to be done is the dishes, or are the dishes. And at least you can do that. The other day, I did something to my shoulder, and I was like, okay, I had all this stuff planned to get done, and now I have to sit here and do nothing. I have all this stuff to get, like, every time, I get into a momentum, something stifles me, and I was doing the dishes. I could load the dishwasher, and I thought, well, at least I got the dishes done. I hate dishes. Who likes dishes? But some people do. But they're not my favorite. And but I love getting them done, though. I love when they're done. And so I thought, oh well, at least I got my dishes done. And while I had that moment, I had the epiphany that, first of all, I had to have that stifled momentum in order to have the epiphany that, wow, I feel so accomplished. I did not want to do these dishes, and this is all that I could get done. What you resist, you persist sometimes, and what you resist persists sometimes. And so, can't tell you how many videos I've made, and my mic wasn't plugged in. That's so frustrating. I send amazing messages and one is off, whether it be the lighting, I get interrupted, the mic isn't in, something, so why does that happen? And so I think it's in the hidden message. I think it's like what we're not seeing gets exacerbated through the moments where we, are slowed down. And maybe during that time that I had to sit down and ice my shoulder, or, you have to ice your knee, or put that cool little, the new gadget with the red light therapy, you have to sit and do some self-care with that heated beanbag or whatever it is. You get to finally sit and clear out your emails or pictures, or finally write that email or book or novel or whatever it is. You get to do that reading that you've been putting off. At least you can feel at ease in that moment, knowing that the divine, the universe, has your back and is positioning you to not be so scattered in all these directions. And it's almost like permission to focus on this one thing. And if you're like me, I got 5 plates in the air at all times. There's lots to be done. Our lives are busy. If you're lucky enough to be able to delegate your house chores, or if you have in-home childcare or something like that, even with those things being delegated, you still have only a certain amount of time to get things done. And so I think we get slowed down for divine connection and communication. Even in traffic, maybe that car that cuts you off in traffic and is now going super slow, and you're like, where's the logic in that? Perhaps it's the divine slowing you down enough to avoid some disaster ahead. And in that, you get to just slow down, enjoy the ride, enjoy that favorite song or that podcast. There's a movie, Shawshank Redemption, where the new inmate goes in and he's on laundry duty and he's asking for tricks of the trade. Like, how do you get through this? Anything I need to know? And the older guy was like, hey, man, just know one thing. The laundry's never going to get done. There's always going to be laundry. In the series, The Landman with Billy Bob Thornton, he's at a diner talking to his dad, and I guess he's rushing his dad or whatever, and his dad is like, hey man, why are you always in such a hurry? Where are you rushing off to? He's like, you're always rushing off to put out some fire. He goes, there's always going to be a fire to put out. He's like, yeah, that's a lot, great advice coming from you. I mean, you're always halfway down a bottle. So, he went on about that. And the father was like, listen, I'm old enough to afford myself the time to take my time. And I am a great example of getting everything wrong. So take it from me. Now I have time to dance with your beautiful wife and watch my beautiful granddaughter and, eat this delicious steak and, whatever he was doing in the moment. And he was like, listen, I don't drink anymore and I have got it wrong, but that's why I do know. And it's in the moments, it's in between the fires and putting out the fires that life really happens as well. That's where the old saying, stop and smell the roses comes from. So perhaps in these moments where you feel stifled, I understand. And I don't think it's to discourage you. First of all, the divine is not here to discourage you to greatness. It's here to empower you and often points out things that we're so busy that we miss. Often that we're so caught up in something that we just miss the perspective. So whenever you get stifled, whenever you get slowed in traffic, always look at it as divine intervention, and divine timing is always the best timing. Yeah. All right. Well, I hope this helps, and I know that it will assist whomever it is intended. Always give yourself a little bit more grace than you think you deserve, and know that your spiritual team, physical and non-physical, is supporting you always. God loves you. I love you. Talk soon. Ciao.